Well, hello! Welcome to our very exciting lesson about Bootstrap. Now, you might be saying, why is this exciting? Bootstrap is a library that we can import into our project that lets us kind of take pre-written components and put them into our project quickly and easily. Now, probably what I said made no sense, so I kind of just want to show you what I mean. A library is just pre-written code. It's code that someone else has already written for other people to use. So if you were to look through Bootstrap and you said, okay, what's in this library? We would go through the docs. And if I went to components, what you'll see here is all these different like HTML elements that you could use on your site. So let's say you're quickly trying to make a website. Instead of like making your own nav bar from scratch, you can go to these nav bars and start looking through them and saying like, okay, is there a nav bar here that looks good? Ooh, this one looks good. And you can just copy it and then put that in your project. And boom, you have a nav bar. So this isn't stealing, this isn't plagiarism, this is the open source nature of coding. And just to tell you, this is kind of a fundamental principle of CS, which is once someone solves a problem, why should everyone else have to solve the same exact problem? If you've learned, someone's figured out how to make a cool looking nav bar, why should everyone else in the world also have to figure out how to make a cool looking nav bar? It's the community of computer science people trying to help each other out. So this was actually, Bootstrap was written by Twitter. They use this for their own platform. And what they said is, we solved all these problems, let's let other people use it. So now we can download all of this code, and now we can start just like quickly throwing up, I want a nav bar, I want a button, or all sorts of cool things. And it makes it quick and easy to make these websites. So to get this library, what we're going to do is we're going to press this Get Started button. All right. And you're going to copy it right here. All right. By the way, if you're wondering like where did Bootstrap come from, just literally Google the word Bootstrap. It will be the first response, just to be clear. All right. So go to Get Started. And where it says CSS, we're going to copy this. And then we're going to go to our project. And I'm going to take it and put it here in the head. Remember, the head is where we put the things that go on behind the scenes. All right. So now, look, right now I have this H1 that says Bootstrap. Look what happens when I press run. It's already changed, right? Something's changed about it. So obviously some CSS has been added behind the scenes that we can't see. Things we can see it. So let me show you. Look at this link. It has an href to this file. This is a file that exists on the internet or on a server, and we can request it. And this is what we're getting imported. So we're importing all of this CSS. Look how much there is here. That's a ton, right? And if I were to copy this and kind of show you what this is, I want to show you how much code we're getting for free. So if you look here, see all this? This is all free CSS that we've gotten. Someone pre-wrote this for us, nice people at Twitter, and they've given us 11,582 lines of CSS. Thank you very much. I'll take that, yoink, and I will put that into my own project here. So that's what we're importing. We're importing all of this free CSS. Awesome. Thank you. Now we're not done. We would also want to get this JS. So if you look over here, where it says a bundle, just grab this as well. There is some JavaScript that goes along with this. So we're going to put this over here. All right. So now we've got all our Bootstrap imported. We've got all the code. This is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. The next part is to start adding the elements we want. And today I've decided I'm going to make my own shoe website. All right. Yeah, I like shoes. I'm going to make a nice shoe website. And I just want to show you the general structure of a website so you have kind of a template of what I'm looking at here. If you go to a website, you'll see that like most retail sites selling something, have a pretty straightforward structure. I'd say like even if you went to like UPCHS, the school website, they have University Prep, UP Public Schools. Sorry, we've changed our website name. What you'll see is that a lot of websites all have the same structure. So let me show you here. Like if you went to Microsoft, you'd see there's a nav bar up top, right? Probably the logo on the top left. There's something that we call a splash that says, what do we sell? What do we do? And you can see here, this says, we sell computers. And then there's usually these things called cards, which is like a picture with a little bit of description. It says, like, here are the different things that you could look at. And that's generally the structure of a website. Nav bar, splash, cards. Like I can go to like a shoe website, this finish line, nav bar, splash, cards, right? I can go to the school website, nav bar, fancy splash with a video, 2 cards. All right. So this is like a general structure that you'll see. And Bootstrap, we could throw this together super quickly. So check it out. I'm going to make my shoe website super quick today. So what you're going to do is, then you're going to go to Docs, and I want you to go down to where it says Components. And this is where we're going to start grabbing the things that we want. The first thing we want, like I said before, is a nav bar. We're going to make a nav bar. And so let me just go down. Let's find a nav bar that we like. That seems like a bit much. I don't want a search bar. It's like, too fancy. That's too little. I want some links on mine. I like this. This is nice and simple and pretty much all I need. So right here, if you look here, I'm going to copy this one. All right. And check it out. I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to delete where it says Bootstrap. I'm going to go with that. All right, so I just copied and pasted a lot of code. Now make sure you're doing this inside of the body. All right, and I'm just going to clean it up just a little bit. And now when I press run, I have this nice looking nav bar, right? And you see this is also cool because it auto collapses. You see this right here? See how that all drops down? It's doing all of that automatically for me. I don't have to design it myself. So if this is on a web, on a laptop or a computer desktop, you'll see I get this full nav bar. If it's on like a phone, you see it does this automatic collapse for me. It's amazing. So I've already got my nav bar, and all I have to do now is like edit it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the things that need to be edited. So the first part where it says nav bar right here, well, that should be the company name. So this is going to be called, I got a cool name for this. It's called Sick Shoes. I know it's different. So now if I reload my site, notice here, instead of saying nav bar, it says Sick Shoes. So I just replace right here what says nav bar brand, Sick Shoes. Now the next thing says home, features, pricing, disabled. That looks about right for me. I'm just going to say this. Let's do men's shoes, women's shoes, about us. All right, so let's do this. So instead of home, let's do men's shoes. Instead of features, let's do women's shoes. You know what? Let's do baby shoes. Baby shoes. And this last one, where it's like disabled, I'm just going to delete that out. I don't need that. Now to delete it, I'm going to delete this whole thing right here, which says nav item. Take all that out. I don't need that anymore. And now if you look here, all right, I've got the start of my website, right? I've already got a nav bar. Now obviously clicking here does nothing. If you wanted to, we're going to learn later how to add more sites, but more different pages to our website. But this is what we got so far. So we got 6 shoes and we got these 3 things. All right, now going back to like website structure, you'll see that most of these things have these splashes, and sometimes you have this what we call a carousel. You see how I can flip through different photos? This is a carousel. So what I'm going to do here is let's see. Yep, that's a carousel too. We can get our very own carousel as well. So if I go to Nav Bar, I'm going to go to Carousel. And let's see, they have different ones that get offered. I like this one with buttons. You see where you can like actually click for it to slide. And so all of this code is what makes it. And like I said, if you read this carefully, you'll start making sense out of it. But just to show you what's going on here, this is where you see the word previous, that's where like the previous button is. This thing that says next, that's where the next button is, right? So that's those 2 buttons. That's what the code here, where you see these 2 buttons. And you'll see here, there's these 3 images. And that's what we'll be editing in a second. So let's grab this carousel. We'll go back to REPL. And let's add it right here. Okay? So I'm just going to make it look a little bit nicer. Right there. And if I press play, you'll see I got this broken image. And that's because if you look here, these images don't exist, right? I have to add images for there to be a carousel. So I got to find some images of shoes. So let's Google the word shoes. Let's see what we got here. Images. All right, I'm just going to get like 3 random shoes. Okay, that's a nice shoe. Let's go with this. Copy image address. Put that here. Okay. All right, let's find another one. Oh. We have another shoe. That's cool. That's a great shoe. So let's copy this one. We'll put that for our second image. Okay, and then let's go to our third shoe. That's a nice one. Let's copy that image. Obviously, I'm just randomly picking these and put them in there. All right, I run it, and let's see how my site's looking. Ooh, you see? My site's coming together nicely. This is like totally random, but like you don't have to do this. I'm just crazy enough that I want to change the order of my images. Ooh. So let's, whatever, I don't care. All right, so here are my shoe images. It's looking pretty good. All right, so, you know, I'm not too far off from the finish line, right? And that only took me like 10 minutes so far. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add those cards. Remember, you want cards afterwards. Like, those are the things that start explaining what you do. So after here, you see I have these like 4 cards. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll show you there's a little massaging we have to do here, but it'll be fine. So that's called a card. All right. And this is like a basic card. So let me find a card that's like, I want an image and just text. So this is my card right here that I want. I'm going to grab this one. So try to find this one. I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to add 3 cards. So once again, I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to go, oops, I'm going to do it underneath the last thing. I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3. Now run that. And you'll see I got these 3 cards here, right? And they're stacked on top of each other, which is not what we want. We want to kind of have them side by side, which sounds like a layout issue, right? We want them to be laid out next to each other. So if you want that to happen, what we're going to have to do, and this is maybe like using what we learned last time, we're going to have to give a grid system to this. So what I'm going to do is these 3 cards, I'm going to put a wrapper around them. So I'm going to go div ID equal wrapper. Now this is just CSS grid. And I'm going to surround all 3 of these in a wrapper. All right. I'm going to go to my style.css. And what I'm going to do is what we've done before. For my wrapper, I'm going to say display grid. All right. And I'm going to say grid template columns. And I want it to be 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. And I'm going to do grid gap of 10 pixels. Okay, let's check out how that looks. And now you see that they are, see, I got my 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And now I just have to edit these 3, okay? So I'm going to edit what they say. So let's go here, back to them. And now that I have my 3 cards here, I know this gets like a lot to like look through after a while, but we can do it. So here are my 3 cards in my wrapper, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start editing them. So let's get another picture of a shoe. All right, so let's go and let's find, that's a cool shoe. Oh, I actually own that shoe. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add that to the first image here. See where it says source? Put that in. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I think did I copy this image? Yeah, I think I did. All right, let's get another one. Let's get this nice looking shoe. Okay, here. Yeah, want to be generally the same size-ish. Okay, let's go with that shoe. Copy image. Let's put that for our second image here. And let's go to our third one. Let me see here. That looks like a nice shoe. No, I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, that's a shoe. All right, copy image address. Let's put that on here. Oop. All right, and I'm going to be lazy here. I'm going to call this cool shoe. We're going to call this one sick shoe. So see, I'm just editing what's in this paragraph text. Sick shoe. And we'll call this your mom's shoe. And then let's check out my website. All right. And so if you look here, I now have my nav bar. I've got my carousel where I can like look at the different pictures. And I've got my 3 cards with my 3 different shoes. Now, obviously, there's a little bit more customizations we want to do to this. We could make a lot of things prettier, like center these divs. But for now, we've already put together a pretty nice looking shoe website pretty quickly. So that's Bootstrap in a nutshell for you. Remember, you could just grab these components and edit them and make really great looking websites super quickly. All right, that's it for this lesson. Peace out.